Journalist Jeremy Cato gets invited to all big and small car shows and car conventions. He is on a first-name basis with most of the moguls and makers who rule the automotive world. Recently, he was in Geneva, Switzerland for the auto show. It is my pleasure to welcome Globe and Mail columnist, TV co-host of Car Business, Jeremy Cato, back to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Well, at least I have my shirt and my jacket and my cell phone, because of course I had my briefcase stolen on the train in Geneva. It was awful.
What do you mean, of course?
Well, Geneva's got a lot of crime. I mean, it's, you know, the international livable cities thing. Vancouver is the most livable city, but Geneva's always in the top 10. And the police there and the city officials don't like you to talk about this, but it's an international city with lots of crime. And, you know, a lot of street crime, a lot of burglaries, not a lot of violent street crime, but a lot of, you know, pickpockets and thefts. And I was sitting on the train going to the airport, briefcase right behind my neck. There was a kerfuffle, and then the train left. Arrived at the airport. Gone was my laptop, my iPod, my Blue Ant, you know, earpiece, all that stuff. So.
Well, you're an international traveler, and you do know you're supposed to put the strap around your leg, so if they try to take your briefcase, they take you too.
I know.
Or at least wake you up.
Next to me or something. So it was, but I did manage to keep my passport, cell phone, and
well, that's good.
Wallet.
So you got home.
Although, you know, when I landed, I got on the plane and called the police when I got home and back to Vancouver, and right there waiting for me. Well, the Geneva police weren't interested, of course. They said call the embassy.
Too bad, happens all the time.
Tough, buddy. But right away, the American Express people called me, because the one valuable thing I had in my briefcase was, or at least transferable, was my replacement American Express card, which I hadn't taken out of the envelope yet. So I had my old card in my wallet. Anyway, sure enough, there were $500 worth of charges on that card that I'd never used that night in a nightclub in Geneva. So Amex was right on it. I said, those are fraudulent charges, don't charge. So I guess the lesson is what you said.
Yes.
Whenever you travel, wherever you are, even if you think it's safe, it's not. Be careful. You know,
absolutely.
Be alert.
And they swarm you, or there's a kerfuffle in the street, and you're helping. That's really good. The naive tourist says, "Oh, I should go over and help," and then there goes your pocketbook, and well, you don't carry a pocketbook.
And the stuff that matters.
Do you carry a man bag?
No, I don't. But I mean, the stuff that matters, I keep on me. So wallet, cell phone, passport, always, and not in the back pocket, in the front pocket. And if it's in an inside pocket, it's got a little button over the top of it, so you can't just slip your hand in there and take it away.
Exactly. Well, if you're a girl, you keep it underneath.
Yeah.
You know, in a
I
secret spot.
It was new sympathy for me. I was thinking about that as women walking around with purses. I mean, it's so. I have new sympathy for it. You know?
Right. Well, when you walk around with a purse, you're female. You put it this way across your body.
I guess you do.
And you hold it.
Yeah. I guess.
I know it's International Women's Day, so.
Yeah, it is. And it's Mickey Dolenz birthday, so there you go.
It is
the
from
monkeys.
the monkeys.
Yeah, 66 today. Yeah. So.
Mickey Dolenz must be a feminist.
I guess he is. And
Who
the
knew?
monkeys are going to do a new world tour.
Are they?
Yes, their 44th.
Really?
It's their 44th anniversary today. They announced a new world tour, so I hope you have your Monkeys tickets.
The Monkeys.
Wouldn't that be a double bill? The Stones are going to do it too. It's like Stones and Monkeys on the same bill.
Oh my, I'm going to Cavalia, and I'm definitely going to see Bon Jovi. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, about cars.
Oh, cars, yeah.
Cars.
Well, I was in Geneva for the car show.
I know, and you were robbed. Do you have insurance for being robbed in Geneva? Does that work? Because you travel all the time.
Yeah. So but it's my laptop is in there. It's, you got to rebuild it.
I know.
It's a real
your
pain.
life is in there often.
Yeah,
you go, my life was in
First
there.
thing you do, you come back, change all your passwords. You know, it's a drag. So,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Okay, so let's go to the happier part of Geneva, to the auto show.
Oh, it was great. Geneva's a fun show because it's in neutral ground. It's in Switzerland. You know, so if you go to Paris, there's a very much of French car company flavor. If you go to Frankfurt, it's German car company flavor. You go to Detroit, it's Detroit car company flavor. But in Geneva, you know, it's sort of neutral ground. Everybody shows kind of quirky, weird stuff, and a lot of expensive cars, a lot of oddball concept cars, and a lot of celebration of the history of the automobile. So lots of cool stuff.
Okay, and was there a word that ran through the show? Was it electric? Was it green? Yeah. Was it lavish?
Well, there were a couple of themes that were true. One is recovery. I mean, the auto industry came out of 2003 pretty dedicated to cutting costs and to really getting its cost structure under control, because up until 2008, really all these companies have been overproducing and discounting, and that's your fast track to not making money. And so most companies now have really got their costs under control, and even GM's Opel operations, the German subsidiary,
Right.
will probably be profitable within the next year, which it hasn't been profitable
Sure.
in a decade.
And there's always a section, you tell me, where there are the concept cars,
Right.
which means what exactly?
What car companies, of course, what they do is they're always looking to create energy, excitement about the future, and also stimulate themselves internally about their new products. And so that's where concept cars come in. They sort of open the door to the designers and the engineers and the product planners and say, okay, if you had to make a car for 3 to 5 years from now, or a truck or something like that, what would it be? And in the old days, when I first started 20 years ago in this thing, they were very fanciful. They were bizarre flywheel race cars and silly stuff that would never see the light of day. Today, most concept cars have some sense of reality to them, so they're trying out some new ideas about technology, about design, about aerodynamics, about convenience features. But at the same time, there's an idea that they're going to be real cars. There's very few concepts out there that don't end up in some way, shape, or form, a big chunk of them, if not all of them, as real cars.
So the mini Rocket Man.
Exactly.
Rocket Man.
I'm glad you brought this in.
Donna, Donna, Donna.
Yeah, and Elton was not there to sing it on the stage. But I love this. This car, this little Rocket Man here, is about the same size as the original Mini, which was really a function of the Suez crisis. I mean, the Brits needed to come up with a small, convenient car in 1956, and in the early 60s, that's what really made the Mini blast. So the Rocket Man is a study in, if we went back to our original roots and did a small car, that's a 3-seater. Because of the original Mini Cooper actually had 4 seats in it, but today to make a car that size with all the safety and emissions stuff you've got to have in a car, you just can't do a 4-seater anymore.
Did you say it's a 3-seater?
3-seater. So there's 1 seat in the back and 2 in the front. Very small, lots of lightweight materials, a small engine, and it's just a really fun little car that if you were they're going to make this car. Mini will make this car. And it will end up being for sale. I would suspect probably in Canada it would have to be around 20 grand for a stripped-down version.
Okay, and if you have a golf partner, where do the golf clubs go?
Well, I guess you have to have a golf club membership, and you leave them there.
I guess you do.
Or you
on the top.
Or I have seen this. 2 people, instead of taking their full bag, they take their travel bag, and there's room in the back seat for that.
So that
or
works.
You put a Thule box on the roof. And you put your clubs on the top.
So the 3+1 concept, is that a new concept? 3 seats instead of 4, or what?
It's unusual. I mean, some cars have been out there doing that, but it's an unusual idea. But I love the idea of taking a Mini and making it a mini, because today's Mini Cooper is really quite a large car by comparison to the originals. So,
and it's a hot little car inside.
I love it. I think that if I were going to buy a fun little car, it'd be on my list to shop, especially the Cooper S. With the forced induction, it's just a fun little car. I love driving it.
You don't have to be a teenage boy to drive it.
No. The purists hate it because it's front-wheel drive and it uses a lot of BMW parts. But those people, who cares? I mean, I like the design of it. I like the expressiveness of it. And how are we going to argue with it? Mini made a lot of money. It sells a lot of cars, and people love them.
Apparently so, and lots of two-tones. A two-tone theme in the show at all, like 2 different colors,
well,
different
I
top,
thought we
different
saw
bottom?
some two-tones in the Volkswagen Bully concept, which is the next microbus. If you look at this, right? Here's a two-tone theme right here.
Microbus? Is that like my old Volkswagen van, you mean?
Exactly, that's it.
The one that never got up the hill?
Exactly. And you remember the shifters in those?
Sure do.
You kind of, it was like sort of stirring stew, or
I remember the
rowing
bad curtains in the back, too.
Yeah.
I made those.
Well, you don't want to talk about what you did in the back there, because that's what we knew of those buses.
That's why we needed curtains.
Yeah, that's right. What was the old bumper sticker? If this van's rocking, don't bother knocking.
Yes, exactly.
We knew that.
Exactly. But we had a kitchen in there, too.
Oh, how nice. Well, Volkswagen has been toying with this idea of reinventing the microbus for a long, long time. And in fact, a decade ago in Detroit, Volkswagen showed another microbus concept that everybody thought they should do, but they couldn't make the economic case for it. This one they can, because I think this is going to get built. In Geneva, when they showed it, it came with an electric drive powertrain, so it was electric drive. And I just love the whole interior of it. And this vehicle, by the way, was not designed exclusively by Volkswagen's designer. They contracted with Giugiaro, the Italian design house, to help them. I think that's going to be a slam dunk winner. It's gorgeous, seat 6 inside, the right size, all kinds of electronic doodads inside.
Right, good on gas.
Yeah, and you know what? Yes. Yeah, well, it's electric. It'll have electric drive. I'm sure they will do a diesel and a gas version as well. Look for that in about 2 to 3 years, and I'm sure it will be a bestseller.
Okay, so electric. I missed that.
Well, that was another
So
theme
no
in
wonder
Geneva.
it's good on gas.
Right, well, yeah. I mean, you can plug it in.
Yes.
And that was a big theme in Geneva. A lot of electric vehicles, I mean, hybrid vehicles. Porsche showed a Panamera hybrid supercar and that sort of stuff. So that was a big theme.
Given what's going on in the world today.
Well, it is inevitable, and given what's going on in the world, I mean, I wrote about this in Simpatico yesterday, another place where I blog, and look, barrel of oil is $120 yesterday. California, a gallon of gas, $4. Around North Vancouver, $1.30 plus.
$1.30, probably going to $1.50.
Yeah. So we are going to see, more people migrating to small cars, and then the regulatory effect on electric vehicles. I mean, fleet's just going to get cleaner.
Okay, well, we'll throw caution to the wind when we come back and talk about the Lamborghini.
Woohoo!
Oh, why not?
Oh, well.
Jeremy Cato, our guest, he writes for the Globe and Mail, and he hosts a TV show called Car Business.